everyone, it's Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be a little different than what I normally do today, and that is I'm going to try the skill and luck no 5, no 9, as long as my voice holds up to it, because I'm still struggling. But today it is a challenge that Skill kind of put out there, more of an informational gathering thing, I do believe, that he was looking for, and trying to see how many 5s and 9s you could not throw using a specific set. Now, the specific set today is going to be a 6-2-6-2 set, which is not a set that I use. I use a lot of 6s on top, but I use them cross 6s most of the time. But I am going to try to throw this. I will let you know that we'll see what the results are, because on some of the screens I will actually have up how many rolls we have with how many times I have thrown a 6-2 that wasn't on axis, because this does require the throw to remain on axis the majority of the time, or all the time, to not hit the 5s and the 9s. So without further ado, we're going to get started here over on the app side of things. If you guys are playing along today, I will be rolling probably really fast. So if I get ahead of you, let me know in the chat and I will slow down. But the goal of this is to throw 3 sets of 36 rolls, which is 108 rolls. I don't know if I'll get through it all on one show here. I'm going to try it, but in any event, you guys get to play along. Looks like we've got quite a few on the app so far, and here are your table rules. $2,000 starting bankroll with 3 $2,000 Monopoly money rebuys, 5 times odds, and we've got $5,000 max bet, 5,000 max odds, the field span double, and if you're going to play the max bonus bet, play along at 30, 150 to 1, and I will not be betting. I'll just be throwing the dice, so this should move along pretty well. Welcome to everybody that is here on the show. I know Skill is here, and he actually said he thanked me for actually doing this. I don't know how many I am. I'm probably the 4th or 5th person that has done this, and he also asked me if my axis was on. My toss was on axis, and no, it's not. So it's going to be interesting to see. And then Skill finished it up with, well, you got to have fun in life. So hello, Cowboy. How are you? Claude. Hey, Chase. Hey, Chris. Hey, Uncle Hoko. Scott Schaefer. Wow, it's been somebody. We got 2 Scotts. We've got Wattage Live Craps here, and Scott Schaefer. There's 2 Scotts for you. Mr. Yo Winfer is here with us today. And Old Man Earl, welcome back to the show. And Bulldog Barbecue. I like that. Bulldog Barbecue. Welcome to the show. That's Wayne, evidently. He must have changed his name, because we'll let it go at that, Wayne. I think I recognize the actual picture that you have in there. All right, so let me go ahead and get set up. Once again, we're going to be throwing a 6-2, 6-2 the entire time. Let me see if I bring these down. Let me see how they set up first before I display them, because these dice are not exactly correct. But that's what I'm going to be throwing. You'll be able to see that on the next picture when we get over there. All right, 6-2, 6-2. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. 108 rolls. Let's see if we can get it in all in one show. Hey, Brian from Hawaii Crap Shooters and Sweet Lou's with us. So here we go. No betting on my part. I'll just be throwing the dice, and these are the smaller dice at the moment. The 755s or the 17 millimeters, and the dice are out. And they double kissed right off the bat, and we have a 5. I know that's how Joe did his show, a 3-2-5. They double kissed at the bottom. Sorry, Skill, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to see what happens here. 3-2-5. I think it must be just common to throw a 5 right off the bat. It just has to be common. I don't know what else to say other than that. Wow. How about that? All right, let's turn that layer off, and we'll put something else up there in a minute or two. All right, let's keep this thing going. Here we go. We've got Deacon Smokes on tops again, and we got Hemmer, Earl, Dan, and Titan. Those are all in the top 5 there with that throw. So we're out on a 5. Let's go ahead and keep the show moving. You'll notice up in the upper right-hand corner, that's going to show my percentages on this set. I'm going to be using the 6-2-6-2 during the entire show. I will adjust my landing zone. I will not adjust the dice set. There's a 4-2-6. Mark it. And mark it over here on the KPI roll tracker side as well. Keep that right. All right, so I'm going to do my best to enter the left die, right die the best I can. Hey, Dustin, how are you? Welcome to the show. 108 rolls in one show. That's going to take us a little while to get there. Let's go. 6-2-6-2. Heart 6. Back-to-back sixes. And so far, knowing what I know about the dice, it's not looking too good. All right. So, let's go ahead and keep this thing rolling. And if I can find, all right. Interesting. I hope that that chart in the upper right-hand corner is working right. I don't know it's not to work right, but I'm pretty sure I put everything in order to track this roll. We'll see what happens after we get to a certain amount of rolls, whether or not it's working or not. Double kissed again. We have a 6-3-9. So we're 2 for 2 out of 4 rolls, or 2 for 4 out of 4 rolls with hitting a 9 and a 5. But hey, it's all part of the fun of the challenge. 6-3-9er. All right. Gotta keep this thing going. And dice are out. Heart 6, 2 of those. 2 heart 6s, 3 6s out of what's that, 5 rolls? Could be that many. Let's go over here and take a look at what I'm doing here. Doesn't look like my counter is working specifically right. Looks like I have an error in the code. We're just going to continue to go with the show. That's a little disappointing that actually happened, but hey. Nope, this is a challenge, Joe. It's not a last-minute crapsy show, although we are using the app today. Doing this challenge that I was going to do Sunday night, couldn't do it. I was going to do yesterday afternoon, couldn't do it. So I decided to try to get this one out of the way. Here we go, and dice are out. $415. Oh, Dylan, I know you're probably watching while you're working, but not a whole lot I can do about that. 145. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's working. Nope. The on axis is not working, so it's not a whole lot I can do about that screen. All right, let's keep it moving. Six two, 6-2. Here we go. Dice are up. A 5-1-6. Mark it. New point. Hey there, David. Welcome to the show. New point. 6-2. For those of you that might be new to my show, I am typically not this quiet, by no means. Still struggling a little bit with this crap in my throat and chest. Oh, we had a hard 10, and the right die came back to kick the left die over to be a 4-5. It was a hard 10. Oh, my goodness. Oh, get that marked up. All right. You're probably right. But we'll see what happens. It's a challenge. It's like Dylan said, you have to stay on axis, and I am not an on-axis person. That's the reason why I throw the weird combination sets that I throw. Hey, Rox, welcome to the show. Didn't see you there. We'll see what happens. There's a 6-2-8. 2-6. Mark it up. 2-6. Oh, well, little to be said. Hey, Carlo, welcome to the show. 5 and 9s pay good. Why try to avoid them? It's all about the come-out game, Carlo. That's a very good question. Very, very good question. It's all about the come-out game, not trying the idea behind it is that his philosophy, and I didn't want to do the betting side of it, is that you lay the 5 and 9 or one or both of them. And I played with Dylan many times live on the show here 2-3 years ago, and he used to always play that $300 5 or 9 lay, and then he would do some other things with it, basically a hybrid strategy. But just trying to use this dice set. Has no 5s and 9s on it, so you have to stay on axis to see what happens. But 5s and 9s do pay very well, and they're my signature number, by the way, Carlo, when I use my other dice sets. There's a 3-1-4. I know I watched the beginning of Joe's show, I think it was Sunday, and he came right out and did the same thing I did, threw a 5 right off the bat. All right, but you guys get to play along in the app. Looks like we have 47 playing. Got Deacon up on top. And the money shot on the bubble there down below, and everybody in between. Tricky, Uncle Hoko, Lights, Buster, Seth, Foos Daddy, Dusted, Titan, and Dan all there with us in the top 11. So you guys get to play along while I try this experiment. As Jethro would say, I'm experimenting. Not to be confused with spearmint gum. Here we go. I'll leave the jokes out today, guys. There's our first hand over with in the double digits, which isn't bad. It's a 5-2, 5-2, or a 2-5. So the first hand's over with. I'm going to stick with this dice through these first 36 rolls, and then I may change up to a different size dice, but I'm going to stick with these. So the first hand is out, and it's a roll of 11, which isn't bad. Carlos says 300 lay with Iron Cross. 3 hits, free play. True. I guess it depends on what you run, your ratio of your Iron Cross. I like to do 3 to 1. And Scott and Dylan says, "Hey Frank, I didn't see you sitting there." And Dylan says that he's a mad scientist. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. All right, so we're coming out on hand number 2. Wasn't a bad first hand. I'm going to stay with this set, or this, not the set. I'm going to continue to throw the 6-2, 6-2 the entire time, but I am going to stay with the smaller dice this time. It's what my locals here use here lately, and the one that's close to me, not in the Atlantic City area, and I like to get used to throwing them. I used to throw all the big ones because my hands are kind of big. So here we go, hand number 2. A549. Dylan, I can't help you. Oh my gosh. It actually was going to be a bad number, but it rolled over. If you guys, I'll pull it up this way, and maybe you guys will be able to see what bad number I'm talking about. If you take this die right here and roll it up, we were going to have a bad number. But you guys in the app don't care about bad numbers. You're just here to play along. Thank you for being here. And we'll keep it moving. All right. Oh, hey, Swerve, welcome to the show. Rock's with us. I didn't see Rock sneak in either. Yeah, just have fun experimenting. That's exactly right. I mean, it's here for entertainment for you and educational for me and Dylan, I guess. But so far, my on-axis has been very, very, very bad, and I'm a little disappointed. That screen up there is not calculating the dice the right way. Here we go. Dice out. 6262 the entire show. There's a hard 4. Hard 4. All right. Mark it. It's a single pitch forward on both of those. Really wish that screen would work. Matter of fact, while we're here, let me just walk over, take a look at why it's not working. I do not know. Everything's set up right, but it is what it is. Let's keep the ball rolling. Uncle Hoko up on top, followed by Tony, Tampa, Dan, and Foos Daddy in the app. 6262. Six five yo. A churro yo. I might have pushed that just a little too far for you guys to see it, but if you're watching the one camera, you should be able to see it all right. Alrighty. Hey Victor, welcome to the show. Yes, it is my number. I do throw a lot of 5s and 9s with the various sets I use. That's the reason why you see me bet sometimes. You'll see me bet, push the 5 and 8 up. Start out with the 5 and 9. Sorry, 5 and 9 up a little higher than the 6 and 8. But in reality, the mathematics of the show, guys, if you don't know what the numbers math is, then maybe you should learn that. I shortened the landing zone up, and there is a primary for the very first time. There is midnight. I shortened the landing zone up by about, well, probably 4 inches, but I was trying to get it about 2 or 3 inches shorter. And it did a good action off each other, back to the back wall and off the wall is what I meant to say. All right. Make sure I'm right. Does that say 15 or 13? 15. Cool. 108 rolls we're aiming for in this one show. I don't know that I'm going to get to it all at one show, but at this pace, I feel pretty good. I feel good. Hey, we've got almost 50 people watching, and don't know how many of you are actually on the app. Let's take a look. 54 in the app, and let's go. 6262. There's a frontline winner. There's another 9, 639. In this case, it would be 369, 3 left side. And let's go here and here. Let's keep it going. And let's go. If I'm going too fast for you guys in the app, somebody say something and I'll slow down, but I want to get a pace going. We're coming out. Uncle Huku, Meeson, Tricky, David, and Tampa, top 5 in the app. Play along as you wish in the app. It's a $2,000 buy-in with 3 $2,000 Monopoly money rebuys. There's another primary, which really is about as random as you could get, because I was off with everything. There's another midnight. And that was a come-out roll, right? Yes, it was. So that's a come-out craps number. Yeah, that's a repeater on the 12. I wonder why this is not working. That's disappointing. Oh, you know what? I might be showing the wrong graph. 17 rolls. I am showing the wrong graph. So it is working. It's just that I have not been on Axis but 2 of my 16 rolls, which is about normal for me, I would think. It's been a while since I actually tracked the whole thing like that. I usually look for my primary numbers on the dice that I'm throwing. There's a 6, 4, 10. 6, 4, 10. Right die starting to act like it normally does. I may try to fix that graph for you guys, but right now I'm displaying the wrong graph up there on that corner. Because if I look at the statistics of what I'm looking at, I still don't know that it's working right. I still don't think it is. We're gonna let it go. Quit paying attention to the monitor, and let's just throw to 6262. Let's keep going. 6262. There's a 538. Is that what I think that is? Could that be? Could it be? Could it be? Could it be? 3-5 or 5-3? 3-5. Yes, it is. Everybody all together. We can do this together. If you know what I'm talking about, chime in. There's a boom shakalaka. There's your tall. All right. Most of my right die is always off axis. That's the reason why I adjust it. And people don't understand why I'm throwing the dice that way, because they know exactly what I'm trying to accomplish, but I know what my tall does. Yes, Chase, that is the tall. That is 6262. That's a big bounce. 538. We got lucky on that one, as random as they could come. 5-3, 8. And the right die is doing exactly right. The left die took a big bounce up into the alligator. As you know, I try to bounce them to the bottom part of the wall. So far, I'm about 50%. Because anybody that says that they are trying to control the dice in one way or the other, if you're 50% on axis on your rolls, you're doing outstanding. It's unheard of to stay that way 50% of the time. Most of the people that I know, and I don't claim to be a DI, most of the people that I know that are DIs are in the 30 to 40% range, and a couple of them are in the 40 to 50. But I'm not that good. I'm not claiming to be that good. So even if you claim to be trying to control the dice or influence the dice, there's no such thing as controlling the dice. It absolutely does not exist. None whatsoever. Doesn't exist. But to influence the dice to increase your SRR, I've seen it done by the same people consistently over and over. I just happen to not be one of them. There's a 5-2, which says this hand is over with. Or is that a come out? Is that still a come out? No, it's not a come out. Nope, 5-2. Mark it up. Okay, so hand number 2 is in the books. I don't know how many we're going to go to get there. It's like the old adage, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll? So we'll see what happens. All right, so after 2 hands and 21 rolls, we are a fifth of the way through-ish, on the way to 108 rolls. 25, believe it or not, David, is average. It's because of the mathematics of the dice formula that come down. You can actually see that 20 to 25% will always wind up that way. So you got to get to the 30 to 40% range, and then you have some type of influence over the dice. I happen to not be one. And anybody that says they can do it 100% of the time is full of crap. Anybody that says they can do it well, consistently 50%. I'd like to see them do it, and I would watch them, and I would bet on them any time of the day. But I am not one. I'm just here to entertain and provide some statistical data. For John over at ProCraps, it was my understanding that he's collecting this data and will use it for some reason or another. Interesting to see what he's going to do with it. 6262. Coming out on hand number 3. We're a fifth of the way in, give or take a roll or two. That's a big lob, 6-4-10. With this dice scattering like that, that's just about as random as you can be. I'm trying to get him to lay flat. I'm actually throwing a drop shot with very little movement in the dice. For the person that's in the chat that thinks you have to rotate the hell out of the dice, why you would do that and give more energy to them, I have no freaking clue. But no, that's not what I'm doing. Very little movement in the dice, and I'm having a hard time doing it. Very hard time keeping the dice moving and landing flat with a little momentum to bounce to the wall. We're at 22 rolls. 22 rolls. And here we go. Dice are out. A 4-2-6. Half and half on that one. That 2 might actually be the left die. I honestly took my eye off of it when it went up the corner because I really can't see it. But we're going to mark it as a 4-2-6. 4-2-6. And we'll keep it going. Why would you raise your wrist? That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I don't even know why you do that. You must be using those light, invisible dice. Here we go. Which is impossible. These dice here, by the way, Victor, they are 9 grams. It was a good roll until they took a big bounce, and we've got ourselves a 9. You guys can't see it. Let me put that up on the screen. The other dice is right here. It's a 3. 6, 3, 9. That is the left die, and it took one hell of a roll backwards. So not much I could do about that, but it's another 9. 6, 3, 9er. Oops, 3, 6. Let me correct that because I am tracking the right and left eye for this particular roll. 1 in 36, David. 1 in 36. I don't care how many times you do it. I don't care how good you are. It's 1 in 36 on that one. Even an experienced person that is influencing their roll will tell you that. They're looking for the inside box numbers and the outside extremes on the come out, and of course the come out natural winners. That's what gets me about some of these shows. Oh, can you hear it? Wonder what it is on the floor. It's a 2 on the floor and a 3 on the table, but it's too tall to call. That took a big roll. We'll just grab one of these dice over here, and we're going to do that one again. That took a hell of a bounce. Landed flat and pew, took off. Yeah, like that sound effect, pew, took off. I'll take that screen down because that's not really doing us any good up there on that corner. I will take that down a little bit. Ooh, good roll, but look what happened. They double kissed when they landed, and I'm going to take it. It's a 4-2, 4-2, 6. Didn't hit the back wall. The left eye didn't come anywhere close, probably 12 inches away from the back wall, but they double kissed, and the other one rolled off. All right. I just saw Claude put a smiling face up there. I don't know if he's laughing at me or something that was said, but I'll take a look in a second, Claude. Got 61 in the app. We got Mason, Kilo, Uncle Huku, Rox, and Tony. Oh, and G in 6 on the bubble in 6, and in the bubble in 11th is press and play. Wow, G's playing along. Sure, he's probably analyzing my toss. I just wish that screen up here, which really is not reflecting what it should reflect, would come down. Actually, I'm going to remove that off the screen altogether, guys, because that's not right. Let me take that down. There we go. And we'll move on with the show. So not my normal midday max show today, but we are here to entertain with the app and rolling 108 6262s. Another big bounce, and we've got ourselves a mid-mo yo. Left die is the 6, the right die went up the wall and fell back down, and we've got ourselves a 6-5 yo churro. Yep, 6-5. All right. Everybody okay with the pace that we're using? Am I going too fast? Let me know in the chat. I am not specifically paying that much attention to the chat. I look back every once in a while. Yes, Skill, that is true. Just like the stock market, past performance is not indicative of future results. Dylan, you're right. Past performance is not indicative of future results. That is true, Dylan. Used to play with Dylan 2.5 years ago, maybe, nighttime, and he would always have me throw this set before I knew what I was doing and lay the 5 or 9, and we had some good times back then. There's a square pair, a hard 8. That will be a rotation to the left on both die, which I would expect off the right, but the left one will say cooperated, but hell, we don't know. Hey, James, welcome to the show. I don't know what you guys, if there's somebody in the chat saying something, a dial-in that you don't like, one of my moderators will boot them. All you got to do is say something. I don't like it when people are getting nasty with one another. This is an entertainment show. We're doing something just as an experiment, throwing the whole 6262, the entire show. John over at, thank you, Claude. Thank you very much. John over at ProCraps is keeping track of everybody that's doing this. There's several YouTubers that are doing it, and some people at home that can have the ability to record the results. If you can't record the results, I don't think you should take the results. Oh, that's a short roll and a 6-4-10. Very short roll. I don't even know that I would consider that a non-random roll. Of course, many of you out there believe that it's all random. Had a little discussion on my channel over the weekend about somebody that doesn't believe in DI, but his channel name is Dice Control, and he has a channel himself. He's just pretending to be somebody else. Got in an argument with G and me over the weekend, but it's like we don't know who he is. It's just, I mean, there's just so easy to find out who it is. You don't believe in anybody trying to influence the dice, but you have your YouTube name as Dice Control. Makes no sense. Oh, that was a big lob. And there we have a 6-3-9. But you know, I think the 9s and 5s have kind of calmed down as I kind of get into a groove here. You guys playing on the app, and ladies too, you're probably enjoying it. Oh, I can just move the puck one spot. It is the 10 was a winner. Let's come back here, put the puck there, and let's go. You're right, James. I was talking to El Toro about that about this time last year. We were talking about the market and in craps, and although you can make similarities with anything, but I firmly believe that there are similarities there. All right. Yes, and Carlo, you're right. At times, they're both gambling. You're exactly right. Put your money in and hope for a return on the investment. That is not bad. Very, very well said. That's a bad roll. 5-2 and we're out. All right. 5-2. Let's mark it up. That is the end of hand number 3, but we're on average for a 10, and I don't expect that 10 SOR to hold up, ladies and gentlemen. That is extremely high. Don't expect it to hold up, but it's not bad. If you take a look, you'll see up top here, right where the yellow is, this new shooter coming out. You see that the SOR, because I've had no come out 7s, And the 7-roll ratio is at 10. Over here on the app, it's at 10 and a 7.67 because they track the out ratio a little different in the app than we do. So we're 30 of 108 rolls. We're almost done with our first book. I will finish this handout and probably change the size of the dice, and we'll see what takes place. And let's keep going. Not bad. We had a 10, a 9, 10, and 11 on the rolls. We've got Meeson on top, followed by Rocks, Kilo, G, who by the way is playing with a $300 buy-in. Tony, Foos Daddy, Dan, Swerve, Ben, Lights, and Maxon. Top 11 out of 64 people. All right, still I got a dice on the floor, so don't fuss at me because I only have, we'll take the 9, because I only have 4 dice up here. I have to move some equipment to get behind the table in order to be able to get it. Here we go, 6262 for those who just joined us. It's throughout the entire show. I'm going to throw the 6262. I meant to look at the statistics of what we did there. So let's go ahead and throw a couple more, and we'll go back and take a look at those first 3 hands. There's a 4-3. Speak of the devil. Whoop, there it is. Don't work to come out. There is a 4-3 on a come out. Mark it. As a matter of fact, it's probably a good place since we threw that 4-3 to come over here and take a look at this screen. So as you can see, the 6262 is producing no 2s and 3s, which would be expected. As you see, the 5s started out really bad, but the 9's a hot number. 6 9s out of 31 rolls. We've just had the 1 come out 7. The horns have been the midnights and the yos. And as you see, not bad rolling at all. So the downtown, I would expect it to see more 4s and 6s is probably about on par. But I've stopped monitoring what I was doing as far as right die, left die. I'll go back after the show and compile it through the software because I'm recording left die, right die. But I'll see what was what. I'm just more concentrating on the landing zone and trying to do the same set over and over. That's a good roll. 6, 4, 10. All right, so we're going to be out on a 10. Hand 4 is officially underway. So don't expect that, speaking of 10, don't expect that SOR to stay there. If you play long enough, I don't care how many controlled shooters or DIs, I hate to say control because there's no such thing as controlling the dice, that you play with, even on a hot table with all people around the table know what they're doing, you will have the ebbs and tides with the flow of good rolls and bad rolls. Right now, on a roll of 10, everybody should be up on the bankroll unless you're playing some number I'm hitting your lay bets or something. Other than that, Kilo, G, second place, Rocks, Foos Daddy, and Tony, top 5. Let's keep it going. There's a 6-1-7 out on a very, very nasty roll. Just told you that it was going to ebbs and tides. They're going to wind up matching us. And I wanted to change dice anyway. That doesn't get us to 36, though, does it? It gets us to 33. I hate to change the size of the dice in the middle of a roll. All right, Dustin's up 244. Way to go. Note to dial-in. Don't lay the 9 when Jeff is shooting. Brian, there's always one comedian in there. Okay, let's see. That is 33 rolls. All right, 3 more rolls with this, and I am going to change the dice to, I'm going to change them to the red, leave them the same size, and then we'll go with the last 36. We'll go with the large dice, but I am going to change the dice out. Here we go. Doesn't really make sense for me to do that, but that was my plan, to use different dice throughout the 36 rolls. (6-2) on an 8. or a 2-6, a 26-8. Doesn't sound right, does it? 26-8. Mark it. Let's go. See what. Make sure that I'm right on the count. So we're out on shooter 5 now. Let's see. Carlos says, do it half the time, change the dice half the time. Jeff, are those old dice or new sharp? No, Winford, are not sharp. These are Power Access. The rest of them are going to be Craps Nation official casino grade dice made by Huxley's. I don't have anything else in here. I got one pair of Google Chinese made dice that I don't use at all. I use them for demonstration purposes. But all these are probably, I rotate through them. They're probably a couple months old, but they don't have very many throws on them. Winford, maybe a couple hundred. And as you know, course of a day at the casino, they get many more rolls than that on before they change them out. If you probably heard the dice, here's a 2-6-8. Kind of sounded a little funny, and I'm not exactly sure why. 2-6-8, but they took a weird tumble at the base of the wall. That's a buckshot. A buckshot. Point made. 6-2, 6-2. Oops, how many dice is this? That's 35. Here we go. The last with this green dice we'll use here, and then we'll move on to the red dice, and then we'll wind up with the white die. If I did new dice, Winford, they cut into this table so bad. You probably saw back in the fall when I was giving away, in December especially, when I was giving away those casino grade dice from Craps Nation, one on every show, that I had trouble with those shows because they were new. 6-2-8. Wow, should have just left the puck where it was. So shooter 5 looks like he likes a 6-2 or a 2-6. And also, did we have a come out then? No, we didn't. All right. You talk about these dice here. They're pretty heavy. They are pretty heavy. Or you talking about my foamy dice. I got some foamy dice. I got a toothpick Ted dice up there. That's a big white dice. Wrong show, Rock. Oh, you guys amuse me sometimes. Oh, thank you, Carlo. It's not as wide as the average casino table, but it is bigger than the table at the Oceans in Atlantic City. It's the only table I've ever seen big. It's narrow across here, and it is 12 feet long. I have this side hard, that side down there soft. That's another bad roll. 6-4-10. Right now I am not having any influence on the dice whatsoever. The last several rolls, I guess I need to get back into concentrating. There for a while I was doing really well. Mark it up. Yeah, this came from CasinoSupply.com. The table layup did. I've had the chips and stuff from poker days of when I used to run charity poker tournaments. I probably got, and this is no exaggeration, I probably have 50,000 individual chips in all kinds of denominations here. I used to run charity poker tournaments where we'd have 400 or 500 people play in a tournament back in the early 2000s through about 2012. All this stuff was left over. Good roll. I call it a good roll. Oh, let me see if I can show you. Okay, it's in there. I'm going to face this die this way, and I'm going to show you what it almost was. So you folks in the app land, you get a break. Because I got a break. All right. So what it was going to be was this. Can you see it? Hope you can't quite see it. It was going to be that, and this 4 die rolled over at the very last moment to catch a 6-3-9. It was going to be the bad number. Oh. Why would you sell me some of the checks? I actually have several different checks, as you call them, chips. These are just all non-denominational. We use those for satellite games and stuff going into the tournament. And I have some marked with the event organizer, Delmarva Charity, and then I have another set that I don't have any in here. Do I have some in here? I have some black ones in here that are like that. The black and the red ones are the ceramic ones that have too much shine on them. It's a 500, it's a 100. Have too much shine on them and they didn't work with the lights. Good roll. 6-5 on a yo. Are we just working on the uptown on this roll? Do my eyes deceive me? My eyes. 6-5. Yes, we're just working on the uptown. I wonder what the shooter has against the downtown. All right. Hey, Jim, welcome to the show. Jim, we're doing the challenge, the Skill and Luck Challenge, the 6262, which is not supposed to produce any 5s and 9s. Started out the show with a 5. That's Badger, by the way, if you guys are in chat. Started out the show with a 5 and have thrown quite a few 9s. But the 5s have leveled out. Looking good so far. Here we go. Looks like there's about 50 of you watching currently. 60 some in the app the last time I looked. We're on our way to 108 rolls at a minimum, I hope. I got a big bounce. 516. There's a downtown number. 516. Got a really big bounce on that one. I believe both die landed on the cut edge. So once again, I am trying to basically drop shot them in there with the rollover, with the momentum, with very little turning of the dice. Anybody tells you got to spin the hell out of the dice is full of crap. They need to go back to school, as I was told by him. Go back to school. Here we go. Let's keep it moving. Oh, hey, look, look, look. My good buddy, my good friend, all the way from up the road a couple hours from me. It's Old Bay Craps. Craig, welcome to the show, Craig. Doing the old dial-in challenge. The dial-in shuffle, the 6262. 108 rolls. Double kiss it. And I think that was going to be a 9 too, but we're going to call it the Old Bay Busher. This is going to be the Chris Dice Station Hard 6. The double kissed and the left 3 die rolled over to be, left 6 die rolled over to be a 3 die on the double digits. So we're 41 and 41. We are more than a third of the way through on our way to 108 rolls. Trying to keep the pace up for everybody. Not taking any breaks here. Just moving on up. And let's keep going. That's a bad roll. 6-1, and we almost had an ace deuce 3. Can you guys see it? You can't. I'll change the screen just so you can see it. So 6 right here, 6-1. Almost to another double digit. Not quite. That's either an 8 or a 9 roll. 1-6, the one that says we're done. And not bad for 5 shooters. And what's that put us at? About a 9 something on the 8.4. Even money on the 7 roll ratio. Told you it wouldn't keep up, but it's still not bad. We've got an 11, a 10, and 2 9s. And then I had the 3. Did I really have a 3? Is that true? I thought it was a 5. Nope, it was a 3. And if you can't make money on the 10 11 and the little better than average rolls, although I've been hitting a lot of the yos have come quite a bit. It's a non-paying number for me, but it might be a paying number for you. You should be up. Matter of fact, before we move on, let's take a look. Kilo on top, Coffeeland, G, Foos Daddy, Dan, Maxon, Lights, Swerve, Kevin, all the way from Vegas, Claude, and I can't see if that's, I'm just going to call you Sam. I can't see what else that says there. They went heavy on that last roll. I told you guys after those first 3 rolls that not to go heavy because it's going to equal what's out, the ebbs and tides. You know, we had 3 rolls and was in the 30s on the rolls. I told you it was going to work its way out. Coming out. 6-3. Sorry, dialing. 639. But this would not be my set that I would use if I was looking for, well, obviously if I was looking for a 5 and a 9, I may want to consider it. But the dialing may have made me a believer of this set. I've thrown it many times. Actually, instead of throwing it this way, I throw it the 2-1-2-1, but it's the same set. Did I not change screens? 43 and 43. Okay, we're right. Here we go. Yes, Craig, there's plenty of them. If we all be quiet, we'll be able to hear it. That was a good toss. And it's the Old Bay bushel. Speak of Craig, and you shall receive. Hard 10, for those who don't know what that means. It's a hard 10. It's a beautiful roll. Beautiful toss. May have looked like it scattered, but honestly, it did not scatter. I mean, it did, but it rolled to the left a little bit. It was okay. Buckwheat says everything was okay. Let's keep the pace up. Let's keep it going. Yeah, here we go. Greg says he prefers luck over skill any day of the week. Yeah, I don't care how good you think you are at this game, betting or throwing dice. You definitely got to have lady luck in your pocket. Hard 4, beautiful roll. Big action off the wall. You probably didn't see it, but it bounced off the bottom of the rubber and did exactly what I would like it to do. It just took a big bounce back. Hard 4. All right. Keeping it going. Craig, do you have a show tonight? Coffee laying up on top. Then we got 3 Kilo, G, Dan, Foos Daddy, Top 5, Maxon, KK, Claude, Lights, Clemson, and Swerve. All still on the green side of things. Hey, Clay, welcome to the show. I said if you were quiet, you'd hear it. Ah, it's a bad roll. Square pair, heart 8. And just because I say it all the time, but just because I say it's a bad roll, I'm not looking for the outcome. I'm looking at what I did to land it in the same spot, the same way, and has nothing to do with the outcome. 6-2, 6-2. All right. Yes, there are some people that have all the luck skill, that's for sure. Oh, that's a big high lob, and it's a square pair, back to back on the square pair. Wow. I don't know what I did. I held on to the dice way too long. Pushed them. Rotation in the die. And we get another heart 8. All right. Oh. Yeah, that's true, James. That is exactly right. That is true. If I remember correctly, James, I don't think that you were a firm believer in anybody that does what I'm doing, which is okay. I don't find fault with anybody like that. I bet on other people that that don't try to, do a rhythm roll all the time, which is what I'm doing. A 5-3-8 on a short roll or a short landing, and then a big bounce into the corner. 5-3-8. If you guys were here in the beginning, I had a chart up on the screens that Was supposed to put the rotation of the dice, but somehow the spreadsheet's not working, so I'm not going to fool with it now. Coffee Land just jumped up on top. Uncle Huku's back on those back-to-back hard eights. Then KK, 3, and Clemson. Let's go. A 5-3-8. Oops. 49. All right. Oh. Let's keep it going. Hope the pace is all right with everyone. I got the okay by 2 players a while ago. They like the pace. On our way to at least 108 rolls. 6, 4, 10, or in this case, the 4 is the left die, the 6 is the right die. So we're going to call it a 4, 6, 10. And keep it moving. You know what I didn't do? I didn't change the dice out. What a dummy. Did somebody put that in the chat? I guess I'll stay with these dice all the way through the show. I was going to change the dice out, go to reds. Even stopped to do it and saw somebody's chat and mentioned something about it. Never went back to it. Let's just keep it going. It was a big bounce on a hard 4. That went real high, far up in the back wall. Almost the 1 die, I'm not sure which one it was, almost was too tall to call. Didn't fall back in, but it came pretty close to hitting the top of it. You probably heard it. All right. Oh, Uncle Huku jumped up there. He must be playing the heck out of them hard ways. He does typically. He likes them. 6-2, 6-2. Let's keep it moving. A 5-3-8, and I got to tell you guys, the last couple of rolls have not been very good on my part with the landing zone area. All right. You don't want someone to say dummy on chat. If you're being sarcastic, Chef, I don't mind. I just hate when people start arguing in chat and calling people's names and stuff. There's no place for that. I mean, we're all here for the same reason. You know, you like or love the game. You enjoy playing with the app. You enjoy practicing. You at home, you have yourself a table too, so you know what it's like. When you have a show, sometimes it's kind of hard to mediate the chat. That's why you have moderators. Good roll. And a hard 10 on a kick off the wall, which was actually going to be a 1-6, but it rolled back over to be a hard 10. Could happen at the casino too on the corner. Hard 10. Let's mark it. All right, we've got one more roll, and we're at the 50% or half of the rolls we're trying to get in, 108. I was going to try to do it in one show. So far, we're doing pretty good. I wanted to be done in about 2 hours, and we're on track for that, as long as I don't get too long-winded. Another yo. That's going to be a 5-6. The 6 was the actual right die. Let's mark that. 5-6. And mark it. All right. Yes. Sometimes, you know, that they come in clusters, Dustin, I seem to feel. The pairs do. Like Brian says, any pair, we don't care. But here we go. was a good roll. And it took a weird bounce, and we've got ourselves a 2-2 again, another pair. I'm going to take a look at Uncle Huku in the app to see what happens with his rolls, see how much he goes up. If he liked it, oh yeah, he liked it. He went up about 1,000 on that roll. All right, officially we're at just past the halfway mark. Roll 55 at least 108. Now when I get to the end of 108, we'll just keep rolling until the hand ends, but we will get, hopefully, I don't think I'm gonna stop at 36 at the moment. I'm feeling pretty good. Doing all right. Dylan's probably gonna call me after the show and say, man, you should shoot that set all the time. Good roll on the bounce. Third time I've said that. That was a good roll, good bounce. It's just that the right die kicked over. We've got ourselves a 4-5 on a 9. 4-5-9. And we're going to be coming out. All right. Turn the overhead fan on just 1 second, guys. It's a little warm back here under the lights. Hey, Joe. Welcome to the show, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, all rise. It's Joe from Craps Master Journey YouTube channel. Here we go. Let's keep it going. Lace out. Square pair. I wonder if Uncle Huku was working that hard 8. Let's take a look. Because he's jumped ahead on the hard ways this hand so far. Let's take a look, see if he was working it. He either did the math really quick on the app or I didn't see it. Let's put that in there. That should be 57 and 57. Cool beans. Here we go. There's a big lob and another yo. Talk about a primary number we've had come up, but that was a very high lob, not my consistent release. Mark it. And let's see what we got here. Still no aces, no ace deuce. 1 CO, and as you can see, 5s and 9s have almost equaled themselves out, but the 8s were the primary number with the 9 a little while ago. But let's keep it going. 6-2, 6-2. The whole 108 throws. Aces, finally. Got a little kick off the wall with the help of the wall. There's an ace, and there's an ace. First time out of 50-some rolls. Do the math, David, do the math. There's aces, which I think would be indicative of this dice set on the double pitch. But it's the first one we've had. I am, yes, Craig Churro. I am rolling the right dice inward, and the left dice I have not very good consistency with it. I had my software up there that was telling me, but for some reason it didn't work. Let's keep going. Six, 2, 8, or a 2, 6, 8. Mark it. For those of you that saw this show publication for 3:30 Eastern time and then 5, we got started at 5:30, a little outside of my control today on this show. But good pace so far. Good pace. Uncle Huku's way up there, followed by Bags, KK. Brian came and joined us. That's Crap and Camper. Titan and Coffeeland. Top 6. Started out with a $2,000 bankroll. Gave everybody 3 $2,000 Monopoly money rebuys. high lob again, and another 6-5, or in this case, the right die went to the left, a 5-6 on another mid-mo yo. That may take over the hot number. Let's take a look. Nope, it's still a little behind, but that's a lot of them. You know, took us 59 rolls to get aces. Wow. I think that's speaking something of this dice set. I never got to meet him in person, Winford. I talked to him several times. Why are you calling me? Did I lose my stream? I can't answer that, David. I don't know if you did that on purpose or on accident. I never met him, but I talked to him and worked with him for his setup. I don't know. I would say probably 100 hours over the course of a couple years. But I did go to a service. That's what those white dice right up there are from Churro's service. Heart 6. Wow, another number on the downtown. If you look at how many rolls we've thrown, we're just now getting to the third number on the downtown. David, put in chat if it's something wrong with the show or the stream. I couldn't answer that. Did the show stop? No, we got an excellent condition. Did the show stop for a couple seconds? Maybe that's what he's calling for. My one thing here says that we may have stopped. Yes, the 3 and 5s are way behind, Greg. Typically, they're my signature numbers, and I throw a modified dice set of what I'm throwing here. It's the inline 6s, I mean, I only rotate one die for that specific reason, but Skill's going to have me practicing with this because I haven't done bad with it, but they are way behind. We'll take a look here in just a second. Another mid-mo yo, almost was there for the uptown. 6-5 this time instead of a 5-6. 6-5 yo. Keep it moving. And yeah, the 9s have performed over where you would expect them to see, Greg, but the 5s are way behind. Combined together, you are correct. Here we go. Thanks, Dylan. I'm just keeping it moving. Speak of one of the devils, there it is, a 6-3 on a 9, which I'm still going to continue to go. Nothing wrong with the rolls. The challenge is probably not on the bad side. Oops, let's put that up there. Yep. So that was our 10th 9 out of 64 rolls, and we should be at 7. So we are 4 or 5 low on the 5s and 3 rolls ahead on the 9s, so I would say that so far, so good. But ebbs and tides. Ebbs and tides. Uncle Huku's way up there, 23,000. That's a bad roll. Aces again. I would have loved to have gotten those ace deuce that time, but it's aces. So it took us 59 rolls to see the first aces, and now we are, 6 rolls later to hit them again. So they're back on track with what you would expect out of 36 rolls. So that where we come up with 108 rolls is 3 books of 36. So it's 1 rotation of all 36 die. So we're trying to get that many in. We're approaching the second book here in a few rolls. Bad roll. 5-2, and we're out. 5-2. I'm going to show you something here in just 1 second. I'm going to keep it going, but I'm going to show you. 5-2. Wow, that was a 24 roll. Was that really 24? I got to double check. I didn't think it was that many. It was 24. Wow. If you take a look up top here, have not hit a 3 with this set yet. The 5 is missing. We hit the 9 several times, but we missed the uptown for the 3rd time by 1. We hit the tall on the first roll, and not bad. I'm going to stick with the green. Got dice. I forgot to change it out, guys. So we're just going to keep, and ladies, we're just going to keep going. 6-2, 6-2. And here we go. Call bet set. I think this is moving on to, it's either shooter 6 or 7. Was that a come out? Hold on 1 second. No, that was the end of the Yep. Thought that was a come out. Here we go. On the shooter 7. Of how many, we don't know. Stuck to my hand. 2, 4, 6. 2 by 4. And shooter 7 is officially underway. Greg. Oh, you never know with this game, Greg. You just got to pay attention to the shooter. If the shooter is you, you got to know what the dice are doing. And if you know somebody that seems to be doing some type of rhythm rolling, see what kind of patterns they come up with. That's why I think strategies never work, especially strategies that same bet before you get everything done. A 5-3 on an 8, and the 5 is the left die. It's going to show up here as the bottom die, but it's actually the left die. Let's mark the 8. I'm twisting my wrist. I think it's probably a number of rolls. I'm starting to twist the wrist and not staying straight with my elbow. And that's as the result, you get him to go in the upper right-hand corner. Majority of the time. Uncle Hoko's still up there, even with that last end of the hand. Bags, KK, Coffee-Land, and Clemson, top 5. Brian Crap and Camper in the bubble on 6. All right, Claude, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate your support of the channel. Glad you could come by. What a good pace, guys. I thought it might take us about 2 hours, and my math held up. We'll be close. There's a 5, a 3-2 on the 5. I still think they'll catch up before we're done with the show, but we'll see. All right, this will be the 70th roll, almost 2/3 of the way through on the rolls we're looking for. And let's keep it going. It seems like a long way, Whifford, but my big butt, Mike Malone, holy cow, old school in the house. It might look like it's a long way to go, but this is some work here, especially for an old fat man. Short on the roll, and we're out. Short on that roll. All right. Short roll there. I told you ebbs and tides, ladies and gentlemen, ebbs and tides. 3-4. And we'll move on to shooter number 8. Let's see what that did to our statistics. Should lower the SOR down. Huh? Did it go up? What did I have that hand? Give me a second, guys. I'm going to go look what I had that hand. I can't see it there. Yeah, it was a 4. I guess I didn't pay attention to the SOR on the 24 roll, so that might be right. I didn't pay attention to it. We're going to keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. Uncle Huku's off the table. He might come back. It's kind of hard to keep people in the app's attention much past an hour and a half. 6262 is what it's all about. Looking for no 5s and no 9s. Not laying the 5 and the 9 as a no lay 5 or 9. 246. 246. Mark it. All right. Oh, yeah, you know, that's how Joe, 40 seconds a roll at the minimum, and you're going to be just a tad bit over 2 hours. I was talking to somebody that recorded this challenge, and he did 140 some rolls in a little, just less than 2 rolls, but he wasn't communicating with people in chat and so forth. Good roll. I'm going to call that a 314. It's a leaner. I don't know if it's going to fall to be the Big Joe from Wisconsin, but I'm going to call it a 314. This die, because it's better on this screen. Yeah, it is. This die right here may not fall to be a 3. It did. It was a leaner. 314. And we marked that up. We did. Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and just switch back to that screen. Hey, Lee, welcome to the show. Not sure what that means, Lee. I might have missed something in the chat, though. Very poor roll. The right die here did not touch the back wall. The left die may have, but may not have as well. Whole Bay bushel, heart 10. All right, let's see if somebody can't catch Uncle Hoko, who's left the table with 19,077 on the table. We've had some decent rolls for everybody to actually make some decent money. 2 short rolls out of the 7 rolls, so we've had some really good rolls, which is unusual, but I may be paying too much attention to the rolls instead of the BS of the entertainment. As Clay would say, more spin, less chin. It was a good roll. They double kissed, and that hand is over with. Cool. Didn't get very many rolls in that one either. I told you, we'll equal it out. 5-2. 5-2. Let's take a look at the leaderboard as to what happens there. And the survey says, I didn't see it change. So I may have missed something. Put the 5-2 in there. All right, so we're moving on to shooter number 8. Or was that shooter 8? Let's take a look. That was shooter 8. So we're moving on to shooter number 9. I think I've got 15 programmed in there. Joe and Jeff are twice the size of Money Shot. Yeah, that's true, Brian. Joe's all bulk. I'm not. I'm all fluff. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Did we get a picture, Brian, with you, me, and Chef Dice that day? I can't remember. Got so many pictures, trips and stuff. All right, here we go. Shooter number 9. Big roll. And there's our first ace deuce. Ace deuce 3 craps. Or in this case, a 2-1-3. Let's mark it up. That is a come out. Loser. Pay the don'ts. And we'll keep it rolling. Brian says we did take a picture, but only took it from the waist up. He was standing beside. Don't get me laughing, Brian. Oh, hey, D. Darcel, thank you for that. It's been a while since I displayed one of these. Now that we're starting to equal the show out, came out really good on the first couple of rolls. Appreciate that, guys. This is not a He doesn't need a step stool, Matt. He's okay. This is not a midday max show. It's just a challenge. So on the 6262 for 108 rolls, 3 books at least for skills, dial-ins, no 5, no 9s. I think there's a midnight. There's a primary. That's 2 craps numbers. Boy, I'd like to be running my craps check now. I think Brian did this once or twice, and I don't know if you got through the second book, Brian. Somebody told me that you didn't get through the second book, that you got tired or something, or maybe that was somebody else. I don't know that was doing it. Hey, Brian P. That's another Brian. Hey, John. John, you're going to see some awesome rolls there, and since John's here, I'll go ahead and display the roll tracker. We just hit our first ace deuce. Took us almost 60 rolls to get the first aces with this set, which I with double pitch would have got us there. But as you can see, we've had very few 5s. We started the show out with a 5, John. I think that must be traditional to start the show with a 5, because I think everybody else has 2. But the 9s have been pretty predominant, and more so the 6-3 than the 5-4. Big bounce. There, speak of a devil, there's a 5. John shows up and we get a 5. There's a 4-1-5. I think that's what we started the show out with too, wasn't it? That's going to be the new point. Should be the new point. And not bad on the time. People in the app may see that I've slowed down, because sitting here doing this for an hour, well, it's an hour and 22 minutes. We got the show underway with dice in the air before the 3-minute mark. So we've been throwing almost an hour and 20 minutes. Good roll. That's the 4th time I said good roll. And it was a good roll. I'd take it, because I throw a lot of 5s and 9s, but there's another 4-1-5. Oh, dial-in are going to catch up with us. Oh, they're going to catch up. Let's see. Yep, that's the 5th one out of 78. We should have thrown 9, so we're about 50-50 on the 5s and 1 over on the 9s. So I think Greg was right so far. But we've still got 30 rolls to go, and things could even out. Let's see. Uncle Hoko's off the table, so we got Coffee Land Bags, KK, 3 Kilo, and Clemson. Top 5 at the moment. Here we go. 6262, all rolls, 6262. Small dice, 17 millimeters, 755s, 9 grams each. Power Axis dice, casino grade dice. Oh, they double kissed each other, and there's another 5. John, go away. 2, 3, 5. So, well, I don't think it was a bad roll, but we're supposed to be trying to avoid them. I'm just throwing them. 2, 3. All right. Just keep it moving. Well, John, I had the roll tracker keeping track of on and off dice and pitching, but for some reason it stopped working, so I didn't pay attention to it. Just going to roll the dice. I'll send you both the dice combination and the result, and you can do with it what you want. I'll send it to you at a spreadsheet, probably Google Sheets, but you can import it to whatever you're doing. Good roll. 5-3 on an easy 8. Actually, it's a 3-5, but who's counting? I am. Oh. Yes, that is true, Greg, and I just said that the 5s were at par and the 9s were 1 ahead. Combined together, they're lower than what you would expect, but I think since John got here, the 5s might have caught back up. Yep, 6 on the 5s now. Here we go. 3 this hand. Ironically, think about that. The shooter, what, Is this shooter 8 or 9? Good roll. I said it again. All right, somebody tell me to stop saying it. It's a 5-4-9. I don't think I need to stop saying it because I'm just doing what I do. But I think we're concentrating too much on the no 5s and no 9s instead of the, oops, the total. Did I not change the screen? Did I not change the screen? Sorry, guys. We'll keep it going. Didn't know if I'd get this in on one show, but I think I will. Coming up on just a little over 20. Yeah, you are, John. 20 rolls. Usually it's a magnet for something else, though, John. Like you and me, I show up on Joe's show, boom, 5-2. That's a bad roll. Ace deuce 3. That's the second one out of 82 rolls. Wow. Ace deuce. We did hit the tall on the first roll. We did hit that tall. Ace deuce. All right. Call it in the air. I do call it in the air, Greg. You'll hear me say, oh, bad roll. And it's not the outcome. It's my release. So if I take these dice from here, and by the time I let go of them, I can tell you my landing zone is out of sight, or I can see the landing zone. And typically I call it before the dice land. I do call it in the air. I don't call the outcome. I call my crappy toss. Good roll. And an ace deuce. Good roll till it took off to the left. They didn't scatter, though. They did take off to the left. I have tried to correct my wrist, because I'm getting tired, my wrist from going to the right, and I'm overcompensating the last couple that went that way. Yes, the Franks. The last couple I've overcompensated, but I am getting tired. I don't know if Brian put that in there or not. I might have missed it. I don't know if he's still here or not. But somebody said that. Yeah, I don't see it in the chat. Here we go. I'm not going to say it. It was a good roll. There's a 3-1-4. Still overcompensating. Trying to correct that. I call it my lazy wrist. Oh, thank you, Sin Silver. I think that's what that says. Let me put this up here. Sin Silver sent me a $2 tip over on the app. Thank you, Sin. Appreciate that. I really do. Oh, yes, the fatigue will screw your results. That's skew, guys. I didn't say the other word. Yeah, what Brian said here. Yes. But, because typically during a show like this where I'll get 100 rolls in, it's, well over 2 hours. And I take breaks in between it to be able to slow down and do a few things. Here we go. Let's keep it going. Good roll. Square pair. A square pair, a hard 8. Boy, Uncle Hoko has missed several hard ways since he left. Mark it. Let me double check my roll count. The KPI roll tracker up here against the app, 85, and I'm missing one. Can somebody go back and tell me where I missed one? I am 11. It's this roll here. Can somebody go back real quick? It's in the app and tell me where I missed a roll. I missed a roll entering a roll on this one. The app is never wrong. Well, I guess it can be, because some hosts like me make a dum-dum. Here we go. Dice are out. I must have upset David Nemo, because he called me and I couldn't take the call, and he's not been back. There's a 5-2. Not a bad roll. 5-2. That was not a come out. Nope, it was not. Let me see if I can find this one that I'm missing. Shooter 9, roll 10 is a 4. Shooter 9, roll 10. All right, let's take a look. Now we came out with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I think you're right. Thank you, Greg. I should catch it up. Let's see. 12 rolls and 12 rolls. Cool beans. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Really appreciate it. Oh, look who it is. It's Jim the Professor. This is probably going to be too small to read. Let's see what it says. Yeah, it probably is. I've been busy and have been missing your show. You actually haven't missed any, Jim. I've been under the weather. I did a show last Tuesday night, interview show with G. So you think you know craps. And then I did a show Friday night and lost my voice during that show. And this is the first show I've done. So you really haven't missed any in about 10 days, Jim. Just 3 shows. 1 talking show and 2 of these type shows. This is just a 6262, the entire book of 3, 108 rolls. But I appreciate you stopping by, my friend. I was wondering when you were shooting the other night, I think you were shooting with Demon Dog. There's a 6410. You were shooting with Demon Dog. I think that, were you using the dice or did you put them on the shelf somewhere? Jim was one of the winners of the dice in December. 6410. Forgot to reset the KPI. I mean, forgot the bonus bet. Get that reset. We hit the tall in the first roll and at least came close to twice, but the downtown numbers have been very, very far and few between. But some good rolls of this dice set. Guarantee you I'll probably get a call from Dylan saying, you need to throw that more often. You may return when your 2 books are done. Oh no, I'm gonna get this one out here, Dylan. Dylan says I can. I think this is roll number 88. We're too close, Dylan. We're too close. We're gonna get her done. Get her done. There is a 314. Mark it. 314. I'm just disappointed that the software that was tracking the on axis, off axis, it didn't work. So we'll have to go back and look at that some other time. 6262. Every single roll was we're playing. Looks like our top 2 place winners in the app have since left the table. That is Uncle Hoko and Coffeeland. As we continue towards that golden number, I think we're 20 away, of 108. $639er. Nothing wrong with that. Good action off the dice, good action off the back wall, and just a good overall good roll. 3-6. For those of you just joining us, here's what we've thrown. Above on the 9s, below on the 5s. 8s were the hot number, and then we started spreading out. The yo was hot there for a while. Yeah, and just like clockwork, they start falling off the table. $314, or in this case, a 134. Oh, let's see, 90 and 90? Yep. Only 18 away, Dylan. We're going to keep chugging along. And I didn't bring anything in here to drink with me either. My voice is still holding up. It may sound like it may not be, but keep it rolling. Six, 4, 10. Almost another yo. The 4 kept rolling over 1 extra time. as we start to round down the final book. Is that a frontline winner? Most certainly is. Let's see, last time I did this, we came right back with the same point. All right, let's keep it going. 85 in the app, 40 some still on the table. And Uncle Hookoo's back. And Cedar, Krusty, Bags, KK have moved up. Coffeeland and Clemson have left the table in the positive. Still on the leaderboard. There's a 369, close to the 10, but it is another 9. 9 is marked. 36. Oh, mark it. 6-2, 6-2. Hey Adam, how are you? Yeah, Adam, I've had some decent rolls here using the 6-2-6-2. It's a challenge by dialing over at Skill and Luck. And high of 24, low of 3. But when I switch back to the other screen, you'll see the results on the SRR and the SOR. The BOR I don't have on that screen. Oh my goodness, 2-5, and that's going to be another short roll. That'll be the third short roll we have, correct? 2-5, as we get ever closer to the 108. And yes, Brian, I am starting to get just a tad bit on the tired side. 2-5. All right, oops, I didn't switch that screen. All right, here we go. What was that one? Let's roll, that was shooter 10. I can look over on my side of things. And shooter 10 was a 7, above average. So I've had a 3 and 2 4s. Everything else is above average. When I say above average on the KPI, you got to get to 8. Or actually, you got to get to 9. But yeah, so we've not done bad. Hey there, Jay-Z, welcome to the show. We're coming out on shooter number 11, I believe. Yes, shooter number 11. On our way to 108 rolls, 6-2-6-2. And let's see what happens. 6-2-6-2. $3-1-4. A lot of those have started to come up. I think it's in the wrist. One's double pitch. And then single rotation out. Yeah, typically I have the right die rotate in. But we're just going to keep right on going. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that. Oh, let's keep it going. 6-2-6-2. A 4-2 or a 2x4-6, and for some reason I pushed a button and it didn't switch the screens. 2-4-6. Mark it. This should be the 96 roll if I'm not mistaken. I'm a roll behind. Let's see where I got a roll behind. We had a 7. I'm a roll behind, ladies and gentlemen. If somebody can find it, it will be between shooters 9 and now. I am a roll behind. The app says 95. Oh, that says 95? Oh, never mind. Even my eyes are starting to fail. With no brown water. Here we go. Never mind. Another 3-1-4. Frontline winner. That is the 11th 4 out of 96 rolls. Not bad. Not bad at all. So 2 over, 4 under. So we are not showing as many 5s and 9s with a set. So dial in, I think, Jim, I'll get that in just 1 second. I think I would have to say so far, unless I go ape shit on these last couple rolls, that was less, but seems like every time I talk about it, poof, they pop up. There's another 314. Oh my goodness. Anybody flipping the 4 on the last 2 shooters? Is that going to be the point? Yes. Mark it there. Let's come here. 314. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Oops, why did that show up? I'm trying to get it to display, Jim. It just isn't at the moment. You know how it is when you produce your own show, Jim. Sometimes things go awry. And now let's do it. That should put it up there. There it is. Thank you. Hi everyone, the dice work. I was using Craps Nation dice on the most productive roll of the evening. Not quite the longest. Hope you all have a better way out. Thank you, Jim. What Jim's talking about is he won a set of Craps Nation dice, and he was over on Demon Dog, Chris' show, I think Friday night. And now he's just telling us he had a decent roll with them. Cool beans. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Hey, James Cartwright, welcome to the show. You don't need to display. Oh, Jim, you must have switched. Never mind, Jim. I tell you, it's getting late. 97, 97, and I got to stop talking. There's a square pair, the heart 8. Mark it. And mark it. Let's keep this thing moving. All right. Oh. 6-2. 6-2. Let's go. Uncle Hoko's back with us. Took a break, and he's back. Everybody started with $2,000 on the app with 3 $2,000 rebuys. And there's a 6-1 with a very, very big bounce on a flat roll with a little bit too much rotation in the dice. And the 6 and a 1, the one that says we're done. Still not bad though. Still above average on the SOR, which is where I'm looking at. 7 roll ratio doesn't count because frontline winners on the comeouts are frontline winners. Winner, winner. All right. When we get to 108, we'll finish the handout. This is going to be the 100th roll. Coming up now. Not bad timing. Here we go on roll number 100. Drum roll, please. And here we go. Aces on a come out. A frontline winner. You're going to pay the don'ts. But if you had your come out action up, it's a winner winner. All right. Duracell. Oh, I gotta stop looking at the chat. Oh, big bounce. And we got ourselves a niner. 9. 549. to start, which will probably be the last shooter, unless I jinx myself. With my voice too. Sorry, I'll mute myself 1 second. Oh, let's keep it going. Six two. Here we go. A 314. Oh my gosh. We didn't have this many fours. We had a couple hard fours early in the show, and most of these fours have come most recently out of the shooters that we've had. This being shooter 12. 6 are away from the goal of 108. We will finish the hand. So don't worry if you're playing in the app. We will finish it. Looks like quite a few of you have dropped off, which is what I try to tell people. That much over an hour, hour and a half, they don't seem to stick around, because even I get tired sitting there playing. Six, 4, 10. 10 on the end. They one die popped up straight up in the air, so I'm not exactly sure about that roll. I'm also, if you notice, they're going to the right again. My extension of my arm is not straight, and I'm twisting my wrist on the release. Makes me go that way. Last time I tried to overcorrect that at about roll 7, I got way off the landing zone and started shooting to the right. So I'll probably just finish out doing what I'm doing. You set a percentage up and down, both. Time is your enemy, Greg. Time is your enemy at the table. So you should have some type of when in your mind and how much time you're going to spend. But if you're like me, when you go on vacation, sometimes you travel away from a local. That's really hard to do. It's part of discipline in table management. There's an ace, deuce, 3. Yep. So I think that most people would say that. And just remember that your time at the table is your enemy, especially when you're up. Oops. Why did it not come over? There we go. All right. Cedar just went past Uncle Hoko. Bags, Milton, and Coffeeland, who's not on the table, so KK would be in 5th place. All right. 4 more rolls to go to get the official book in the world records. I shouldn't say world records, into the CGTV record for skill and luck. There's a 5, 415, and as you can see, I'm back to putting it in the corner. I know what I'm doing, but we're not going to get bad numbers. Oops, we'll both scoot these over so you can see it on the dice cam. And we'll see what happens here. 415. Yeah, new condition, craps elbow. Oh. You know, because when you're at the table, you don't normally throw consistency like this, Greg. So, yeah, you're right. I'll take a look at that, Lee. There's not much I can do specifically about it from my end. My arm's not getting sore, Jay-Z, but I am getting sort of tired of sitting here doing this, because typically when I'm doing my show, you know, I have a tendency to talk a lot and take breaks. But I've been pretty good at a pace. But even Brian said that fatigue did set in on him from Hawaii Crap Shooters, Brian. Good roll. And a hard 10 this time. It worked out. There's an Old Bay bushel. Hard 10. Every time I said good roll, we had one of the numbers come up. Let's double check our statistics. All right. 106 and 106, so we're looking good. How we came up with the 108 is 3 books of 36 rolls, 36 being the probability of each combination. So 36, 36, and 36. And that's what we're doing. JC. I know, right? You can probably hear my voice. It's still got froggy sound to it. Still have not over that crap. But here we go. Good roll. 4-3, we're one shy of our goal. Oh my gosh. I was really hoping to get this in without having to go to another shooter. Oh, that's not a come out, is it? No, it's not. Oh, wow. One shy. Oh my goodness. No lockjaw. I do have there was a TMJ in my jaw. We're gonna go ahead and do one more, guys. I gotta get the 108 in. And we'll see what this shooter does. 6-2-6-2. I think a couple people went beyond the 108 because the hand wasn't over with. And for you guys there in the app land, we've got Uncle Hoko, Cedar, Krusty, Bags, Milton, Coffee, Kilo, Clemson, Iron Cactus, Ben, and Chase on the top 11. Then the next 22. Oh, Justice Jen's with us down there in 22nd. Basic Stuff Craps. Let's go. Libby, Walsborough, Carlo, Claude, Sam, Meekson, Buzz, Foos Daddy, Earl, Basic Stuff Craps, and Justice Jen. Wow, way to go, guys. How many more can we go up? Not everybody may have been here that long, but... Well, here we go, guys. This will be the last shooter. Oh, shoot, I didn't even display that. Sorry, I had the wrong one up. Let's go back. There's your top 11. Then we'll go to 11-22. Sorry, I had the wrong screen up. I got ahead of myself. Oops. And then... Sorry, guys. Place your bets again. I'm not exactly sure what just took place. So lock your bets. Stop that. In. I think that's about where I went with all the winners. All right. One more roll, guys. Go ahead and lock your bets back in, guys. I unlocked you. We've got 90 on the table. This is going to be the last shooter. I'm trying, Lee. I'm trying. I am trying. I don't know what number 2, number 3 is. Not sure. I might have missed something there. So here we go. The 108th roll in the books right here, guys. Ladies and gentlemen. And it's a come out. We should stop right there. Oh my gosh. Pass the dice, Jeff. 2-5. Roll extender. Roll extender. Oh my goodness. What is that? Is that the third? Yeah. Is that the second or third? That should have been the third. Wow. That's only the second come out 7 I've had out of 108 rolls. Wow. 6-2-6-2. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Good roll. 4-3. I am going to kill you guys working your bets trying to get on that leaderboard. Do not try to get on the leaderboard at the end of the show. I'm going to kill you guys. 4-3. Wow. Roll extender. Roll extender. Here we go. Let's keep it going. Good roll. Big bounce, though. Everybody's going to be down to 0 working the come-outs, not thinking I'm going to do that 3 times in a row. There is a 2-5. It is going to kill my statistics at the top there, but I don't care. Oh, my gosh. Oops. What did I just do with the roll tracker? Oh, I'm murdering those statistics at the top. Should have just stopped at 107. Told John I'd quit. Oh, he's here. Yes, I understand, John, but I got to keep going to keep this going. John says, remember that for the spirit of this challenge, consider all 108 rolls to be come outs. So many times you pick up the 5 and 9. Oh, I got you, Greg. I got you, John. You could explain that when you get all your statistics in of whoever's doing this. But I'm going to finish the handout for the ladies and gentlemen in the aces. Oh my goodness. On the app. Aces. And aces. We might get a point set on this last hand. What's this going to be? Roll number 5 on this last hand? All right, John says he will explain it better on tomorrow's Coffee and Craps over on Casino Gaming TV with John. Good evening, Arnell from Dice Grinders is joining us. How you doing, my friend? Still trying to set a point. We got to our 107th roll, and now in order to get to 108, I threw a come out, and then 3 more and a craps number. Good roll. Oh, back into the corner. Another craps number. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys on that front line, you're loving the beginning and hating the end, unless you're backwards. Playing the don't. It's a 2-1. Wow. Oh my gosh. Smoke coming off your fingers. Wayne, I don't know about smoke, but it's not my hand, my elbow, or my wrist, or my back that's bothering me. It's just that I am a little fatigued. Plus, I've been under the weather a little bit too, and I don't think I'm totally restored from that level of energy. Wait a minute. I'm retired. I have no level of energy. Good roll. Midnight. Oh my gosh. I bet G is gone. I bet he's not even here now to see this come out action. Oh, John, you be sure to talk about this last roll when you talk about my rolls, if you do. That 1, 2, 3, 6 rolls, no point set on this very last roll. No point set, 6 rolls. Somebody with some good come out action could have made some money here. Oh. All right. Yeah, Dylan says everyone is welcome to participate with this friendly on-access no 5, no 9 challenge. Yep. Oh, I know that world bet will be looking sweet, Adam. There's no doubt about it. So I was talking about the come-out action. I was watching Ed's the other day, and he threw a couple craps numbers in a row. No 7s, but sweet. He could have just packed up and after he got done with that roll and just been happy with what he made on the come-out action. John, I hope you're here. I hope you are. I couldn't try to do this. There's midnight again, guys. 7 rolls, no point. Oh, screenshot that and use it. It's 7 now, Adam. 7, could you imagine? Especially that being a world bet on the midnight again. Oh my gosh, let's see, 25. Let's see, we got, that would have stayed the same. So we went 25, 50, 75, 100. That would have been $2,600 minus the whatever was out there. So $2,000 come out shot right there if you're doing $25 world and $5 ace deuce. Wow. Finally have a point. A 3-5-8. Oh my goodness. That roll's really skewed the whole thing. But when we sit down and talk about this, when I finish out the show, I'll go back to the 108 and show you what we really did, because that's what we're basing it on. I'm just trying to finish this out for everybody that's in the app. All right. Oh my goodness. An above average roll with just finally setting the point. Good roll. 415. For the 6th time today, I'm trying to hit no 5s, no 9s. And I said good roll, and we have a 5 or a 9. 1, 4. Let's go here, and let's watch it come up together. 1, 4, 5. Oops. Let's go there. And that'll make 5. Is that the 9th 5? Eighth five out of 116 rolls below. The nines are performing above average. Thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the point, he says. Oh, my goodness. No tips required dial in, unless they had some big-ass come-out action going. I know Adam would have had some decent come-out actions. A lot of people don't play that game, but if you're playing this dice set with this specific set, that if you're good at what you're doing, you can pick up the horns, avoid the fives and nines, but you are going to hit the bad number. Good roll. And a mid-mo-yo on a 6-2-6-2. Wish I had my percentage boxes set up on this setup I'm using at the end of the show to show you all, but I don't have it set up. I won't be able to do that unless I sort of cheat with my software. All right. So, hey, Darksider. Bill, welcome to the show. It's not Bill. Is it Bill? I kept calling somebody that was Darksider or somebody else dark something backwards. It's been a while since I've seen you. I don't know, Bill. You might want or Darksider. If it's not Bill, I apologize. I think I had that wrong one time. If you go back and look at the statistics of what I've thrown, it's up until shooter 12, we were below on the fives and nines out of 100 rolls. Well below the average. Another midnight. Oh. It's 118 rolls. Nobody would believe this if it wasn't live. Yeah, I understand, Adam. You know, to be honest with you, Arnell, I don't. It's not has anything specifically to do with at the casino, because you'd want fives and nines. It's a challenge that Dial-In came up with over on one of John's shows. I'm like the fifth or sixth person to do it, compiling to see if somebody that can throw on axis, which I cannot throw on axis, a 6-2-6-2 set and avoid the fives and nines. And at this particular moment, you can see that the nines is performing one above and the fives are performing four below out of 118 rolls. But they only wanted a book of 108 is all they wanted. Yeah, fives and nines are secondary, that's correct. You get Dial-In to explain it to you, Arnell. I'm just a fool sitting here throwing the dice. And I'm tired at that, Arnell. I've been 2 hours doing this. 538, that's a frontline winner. Can you guys see that? You can. I just want to dig this out. It's going to be hard to dig out without turning, and I didn't. 358. Good question, Arnell. Arnell always seems to have good questions. I'm thinking what he's asking most of the time. Frontline winner. Oh, I was really hoping this was going to be done with. But in the essence, oops, sorry guys, in the essence of everybody that's playing in the app, 95 of you, 30-some still in there, I'll finish this rollout. We're coming out. There's a 516. Point's going to be a 6. Getting close there, Adam. Now, if we could just take, I don't know if you were here, Adam, when I think you were when I started throwing all those fours last hand. If we could just get one of those this hand. I've hit the tall already this show. I've come close to hitting the tall 2 or 3 other times. Nowhere near close to the small. This is the closest we've come out of the 120 rolls. But let's keep it going. This is the last shooter, in case you're joining us. Yeah, you need to get one of them to explain it to you. I had the same philosophy, but I played with Dial-In before on the show, and he used to always lay the 5 or 9 when we played live a couple years ago. A 4-6-10. Now, You got the 4 and the 9 to go. I don't specifically lay until I only have one number. Some people turn off at this point. I guess it depends on where your bets are. This is roll 14 getting ready to be entered on this shooter. So, you know, we've hit 8 out of 14. I've got the bonus close, but we know what's going to happen. Here we go. Dice out. Good roll. Heart 10. Oops, got ready to mark it. It's already marked. Old Bay Bushel, heart 10. Big Money Bills just showed up and got to the top. Don't know how long he was here. We got, is that Brian Money Shot in second place? Brian. I know what he's doing. He's brought out the old Field Bandit. Just kidding, Brian. We got Bill. Oh, Big Money Ray. That's not Bill. That's Big Money Ray. That's the uncle or cousin. We got Ray, Bill, Bags, Milton, Krusty, Hardways, Coffee, Cedar, Uncle Hoku, who's off the table, Wayne, and 3 Kilo. Let's keep it going. Yeah, I know. That's the same thing I was thinking, Adam. We're trying not to, but if it comes, it comes. If it does, I'm going to say it's going to be a 6-3 or a 3-6. That's what it's been. I have thrown probably out of all the 9s, a couple 5-4s. There's a 4-6-10. Oh. But I will say one thing, Arnell. I'm pleased with my shooting. You know, my daytime shows, I know you don't normally make it because you're working, but I try to get 2 double digits out of 5 rolls. I think I've had 4 rolls under the average, and then 8 or above, 9 or above, have been all the rest of them. I'm going to have to use this set on the next Midday Max Show dial-in and see what happens. That's a bad roll. Aces. Just needed one of those to turn over to be a 3. Mark it. Look at the horn numbers on this. If this was a crapless table right now, holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 out of 17 rolls have been extremes. Wow. Extremes, for those you don't know, they're the outside numbers on a crapless. Okay, Winford, thank you. That was a good roll. A 3-2-5. I told you they're going to catch up with us, but we're only looking at the 108. When we go back and turn it into John. 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Let me see. Are we right? 123, 125. Does that say 25 or 23? My one monitor, I can't see from here. 125. So we are right. Cool. Let's go. Five, 3, 8. Mark it. Okay, what's going on here? There we go. That is true. I know people that lay the 6 and 8 for $30 on a come out. That's only keep it there. It's trying to come out. I do know people that do that. They don't leave it there long. Hey, VDT, didn't see you pop in here. Sorry I didn't see you. Yes, I know on your videos, the 5 and 9s keep you busy. With the sets I typically throw, I throw a lot, but up until we went through 108 rolls, 3 books of 36 VDT, and we're below on the 5s and 9s. Above 1 on the 9s, below on the 5s, for an average being below on this dice set. 6, 4, 10. I was supposed to end the show at 108 rolls. We wound up at 107 when I went out on the last shooter, and then I'm trying to get this in. And VDT, if you take a look at the screen, right above the point of 6, look at that come out action. We had 3 come out natural frontline winners. Then we threw a 2, 3, 12, 12. Before we set a point, I think it was 8 rolls, or was it 9 rolls before we set a point? Here we go. So for those of you that are just popping in now about what we're talking about here, it is a little late in the game to try to show the experiment that Dial-In had us doing. I think I'm the 4th, 5th, or 6th person to do this. Hard 10. But I'm really impressed with my dice tossing today. Somebody said on Friday night's show I should take a week between throwing, because I threw on Friday night's show high 30s, a couple 20s, 1 teen, and a couple short rolls. 6-2, 6-2 on every single roll of the dice, come out and otherwise, is what we're throwing. Here we go. Yeah, that's what I said, VDT. That's it. This is a crapless hand if I ever saw one. Yes. That's a big lob, and we were finally out on a, that does not come out. A 6-1, the one that says we are finally done. I'll meet you over at the table, ladies and gentlemen, and look what let me switch the screen. Ever so close on a 22 roller, and look what we missed. Hit the tall on the first roll, but closest we come on the small out of all the rolls. This will be the 4th time we missed a tall out of the rolls that I've done. I think it's 13 or 14 shooters, something like that. Let's go ahead and get the business out of the way, and then we'll talk about the 108 rolls if you're still here. Thank you. Looks like we got about 50 people that are still here. Oh, did I put that last one in? I did not. 6-1. Put that in, and then I'll catch it up. Total of 129 rolls. Is that what that says? Yeah, 129 rolls. Let's go over here to the leaderboard for the app, and we'll get that out of the way. So we've got Big Money Ray took all 3 rebuys. Brian took a couple. Bags took a couple. Milton took 1. Krusty, Hardways, Coffeeland with none, and Uncle Who took a couple. But you can see that Big Money Ray turned that into a $37,000 profit. And let's just continue to go on to the next 8. Kilo, Titan, Chase, Beast Mode, Clemson, Ben, Libby, Carlo, Claude, Sam, Moxon, Foos Daddy, Basic Stuff Craps, Scott, Chemo, Earl, and we're still there. I'm going to stop with that 32. Justice Jen, Mr. Make 'em All, email, make 'em email. What's that say? Make 'em all. Oh, make 'em all. Woo, my eyes are messed up. Walls, Frank, Lights, Maddie, Swerve, and KK. Wow, how about that? Let me come over here to this screen here. Ooh. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody that's here. From a standpoint of what we shot today, why did I go back to that screen? Let's go here first. So here's what we threw today, guys. Now I'm going to take the 108 rolls out in just 1 second. I'll put them back. But this is my total 129 rolls. You can see that we underperformed the 5s by 5. We were right on spot on with the 9s. So between the 2, we had less 5s and 9s with the 6-2 set. I'm not saying that counts for anything, but look at the horns. Took us to roll number 79 to get our first aces, and roll number 85 to get our first ace deuce today. And then it was Horn City from that point on. So the rolls today, 24, 22, 12, 11, and 10. And I can't display it on the screen, but I'll tell you the rest of the rolls just in case you wanted to know. So let's see here. I've got those up there. How many shooters was that? 13 shooters. So I threw 2 4s, 1 6, and 1 7. Everything else was above the average, above averages. So wow. So if we take out, if I come over here and I take out, let's go back to 108 rolls. Come down here to 108. Copy. This is going to be 108 rolls. You can see on 108 rolls, our SOR was 8.3 and our 7-roll ratio 7.2, which I'm not too worried about the 7-roll ratio because we really didn't have that many come out 7s. We had 2 of them out of 120 or 108 rolls here. We had that many rolls. So that's not bad when now you look at this for 108 rolls. The 9s were over, the 5s were under, but the whole 129 certainly would have been there. And I'm going to put the 129 back in now. And you'll see that pop back up and readjust itself on the graph and everything. So that's interesting. Very interesting. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody that stuck around here. Still got 50 of you watching. You guys are awesome. Brian, I don't know about the stamina because I'm telling you, you were right, Brian, when you said it took some out of you to roll. I started the show 2 hours and 17 minutes ago, so I rolled for about 2 hours and 10 minutes to get that rolls in. I thought it would take about 2 hours to get my rolls in, and it most certainly did. Thank you, Winford. I appreciate that. I don't know about a round of applause, but wow. Winford, I'm not typically qualified. There's people here that'll tell you that I am not qualified. What's Rock said here? Okay, Jeff, switch to the other end of the table and do it again. Shooting from the right side, I have to admit, Rock, I have got to practice that. I typically shoot stick left 1, 2, or 3, and even from the hook, because some people will move in so I can get to the 3 area. But wow, that's it. All right, guys, this was the skill and luck, no 5, no 9 contest showing the challenge, throwing the 6262 for all 129 rolls or 108 rolls. I'll ship the stats over to John, and he's going to compile everybody that participates in this, and we'll see whether the 6262 threw on average of 5s and 9s. If you combine them both on this show, they threw under, but I am typically a 5 and 9 person with the dice sets that I use, so I don't typically throw the 6262. I throw a lot of 6s on top, just not 6262. But in any event, guys, I'm about ready to lose my voice, so I want to get out of here. I want to thank everybody who was here. I want to thank everybody for the super chats. I know Jim the Professor gave me a super chat, as did Ben. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Ben. Very much appreciated. Jim, as always, my friend, thank you very much. And Clay came in and put in that he's been a MAC member for 27 months. Thank you very much, Clay. I really appreciate that. I do think it's time to get out of here, guys. When the next Midday Mac show comes back, we will have a $50 high hand contest. Imagine having it today, coming close with in the 20s a couple times. But when we come back with that show, it will not be tomorrow. I may have a show, but it won't be that. So just stay tuned, and we'll talk about the invitational tournament coming up when we come back. Jack, thank you very much. I did work hard today. You can probably see my head shining, a little bit of sweat up there because I got hot in here. You're right, Adam. That's what I said. Dylan's going to call me and said, I need to incorporate my 6-2-6-2 in my come-out game. Now, look, I was talking to Ed the other day, and 6-2-6-2 is one of his standard come-outs that he plays on the come-out action. And I respect him as his ability to do what he does. So we were talking about the 6-2-6-2 set. The problem is, as I did, I threw a lot of 9s, and so did he. But in any event, guys, I thank you. Hot tea with a little bit of lemon. You're right, Jim. You're right. I am going to go ahead and get the hockey puck, P-U-C-K. I said puck with a P, and get out of here. And we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks to everybody that was here. We'll see you. I would like to tell you when. I really don't know what to tell you. We'll see you on the next one. God bless each and every one of you. Skill, you're welcome. John, I'm going to ship the data over to you. We'll see you guys. Be safe. Play smart.